Hello and welcome back to KDP A to Z. This is the channel to go to for the best tips, tricks, and insights to help you succeed on your self publishing journey. Today, we're going to be talking about a topic every self publishing author has wondered about: how to find the best niche. And it's important because it can make the difference between a successful book and one that just gathers digital dust. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you some real life examples where people have self published their own books in specific niches and they are making thousands of pounds every single month. There's no reason why you can't do this as well yourself. And then right at the end of the video, I'm going to be giving you some examples of some niches that I've looked into myself. There's far too many for me to do all on my own. So do have a little look at those niches. There's lots of opportunities out there. So, first of all, what do I mean by niche? Basically, it's the unique topic or theme that will appeal to a specific group of readers. Finding the right niche is tricky because you don't want something too competitive, but equally, you don't want to go with something that's no one's going to look for. So, for example, this one here is about steampunk Lego. I'm not quite sure what the content of the book is, but it's quite a niche topic and obviously something that is quite popular because it seems to be doing quite well. Before choosing your niche, let's get one thing clear. No matter what book you make, it has to look professional and it should have good, grammatically correct, and well presented content. Making a poor quality book or something that's obviously not your forte is going to lead to bad feedback. So let's just have a little look at this one, for example, the colouring book for adults, Faces of the Sky. This clearly doesn't show that it is a colouring book from the cover. The cover of the book should represent what kind of book it is, and this one isn't very clear that it is a colouring book just from the cover. If you look on this listing, it doesn't show anything about what kind of content it has. Doesn't have much information about it at all, apart from saying it's an amazing colouring book, but how do you know? Whereas in contrast, this one, which is doing extremely well, has good detail. It's very clear that it's a colouring book. It's made good use of the A plus content. Now, if you haven't seen my video about A plus content and how to make it, it is a free option for you to do, and it really does help push your sales. So do have a little look at that video. As you can see, this one was also independently published and has got over 5,000 ratings. So that is a book that is doing extremely well. Having good feedback is what's going to push your rankings up, more so nowadays than keywords. But in the initial period, just after publishing, the keywords are the most important factor. If you haven't seen my previous video yet, do check it out because in this video I show you how to find great keywords that will give you similar results to the paid programs, but it's a completely free way of doing it. However, for longevity of sales, the quality and content of the book is the most important factor. And so when you choose a niche, it has to be something related to what you know, what you're good at, or what you're passionate about. This way, your own enthusiasm will shine through your book and resonate with your audience. Let's quickly talk about low content books. So these are books with minimal text or repetitive content, for example, journals or planners. Now you should avoid these because these books are no longer free to publish. And by that, I mean that Amazon KDP will not give you a free barcode. And without that, you can't publish. Also, as you can see, it is very competitive, 70,000 results for journals. So it's really going to be a struggle to get your book seen. Medium content books are going to be a far better option for you. So, for example, a colouring book, whilst having minimum text, is not repetitive. And so this niche is absolutely fine, and you'll get the free barcode for that one. There's also the option of longer books like novels and stories, but in order to get as many books out as possible and so increase your chances of success, medium content books are probably your best option. So I'm on Publisher Rocket here. I'm going to have a little look at the different options there are for medium content books, hopefully give you a bit of inspiration. I'm going to summarize that in a table at the end of all the different things that you might like to think about when you're choosing your niche. Let's start with short stories for kids. So you can see here, this is quite a popular one. You can see by the monthly sales that they are quite a good topic to do and quite easy to create. This one here is doing $16,000 a month. Let's have a little look at that one. So you can see here the cover represents the kind of book that it is. They've made good use of A plus content, which is nice. You can see it has been independently published, and that one's making $16,000 a month. So remember, short stories can be fictional or non-fiction. They can be aimed at different age groups and have different themes. So let's check out the short stories for seniors. So look at this one here. It's only 47 days old. It's got monthly sales already of $2,500. Let's have a little look at this one. Okay, so even though this one hasn't got any A plus content to it, it's got some good reviews already, and it has, as you can see, been independently published. That's a great example of a good niche. Okay, let's try out another one. We're going to go with funny short stories. Okay, so some of these are doing rather well. Some of these might be from big publishers. Let's look for one that might be independently published. So this one's not too bad, making $479 a month. Quite a simple front cover, seems to be doing rather well. So that's based on Campfire Stories, independently published back in March. So there's lots of different options in short stories. Let's try out some recipe books now. So I'm going to look at freezer recipes. So you can see this niche is doing quite well. Some of these are achieving monthly sales of nearly $5,000. Let's have a little look at this one. Quite new one, making $2,500. Again, you can see that they've made really good use of the A plus content and independently published. Another niche that you might think about exploring is things like mindfulness and self care. People are getting more and more concerned with mental health, especially in children. So it is worth exploring these areas. I'm just going to look at self care workbook for women. And you can see this is a fairly good niche. This one here is making $55,000 a month. So it does show how much potential there is in this market. Self-care journal for women, self-care for black women. Let's have a look at this one, making $2,000 a month. Let's have a little look. It's relatively new. Yep, they've gone with the good A plus content. That's great stuff. And independently published. So let's go a little bit more niche with this one. So let's have a little look at self-care new moms. I'm spelling it moms because it's the American site that I'm on. Some good sales being made in some of the newer books. So this is nice to see. This one's only 5 days old and it's making some sales. This one just a month old, making some good sales. So you can see the revenue here is a bit lower. So that's a good example of where someone's gone a bit less competitive in their niche, but they're more likely to be found on the first page. Another topic that you might like to explore is children's books. So let's have a little look at children's activity book. Okay, in this niche, I do want to say that you need to be a little bit careful. Don't use recognizable cartoon characters. This one's been published by Penguin, so they obviously have the license for Bluey, but please don't use recognizable cartoon characters because they're going to be trademarked. If you're not sure about trademark, check out this video here where I show you how to check for the trademarks. But if you use something that has been trademarked, you're going to risk losing your account. So just stick with something generic like this one here. This one's Unicorn Mermaids and Princesses activity book. So that's not going to be trademarked. If you go with Little Mermaid, you would be. But this one's doing good. $3,000 a month. Again, you can see it's been independently published and they do make great use of this A plus content, which really does show how professional it is, doesn't it? Okay, let's check out some different niches that you might choose with kids' books. So here we've got scissor skills for kids. I've gone with, wow, $12,000 a month on this one. It's less than a year old. Let's have a little look at it. Again, independently published, good A plus content. It's very clear from the cover of what it is. It looks professional. This would be a good niche. And it's making $12,000 a month. Another good niche would be the puzzle books. So let's have a little look at word search. Now, these are more likely to be more competitive. You can tell that the good books that are doing really well are a little bit older. But here's one that's been published in the last year, The Good Old Days. So that's gone a little bit niche. That's gone with some nostalgia. So more aimed at seniors. And look at this, making $14,000 per month. Let's have a look at it. You can see that it's been independently published. It has some good A plus content and it looks professional. That's why it's doing so well. Just looking at a different niche. Let's look at Sudoku. This one here, only 23 days old, and it's already doing $2,000 a month in sales. Let's have a little look at this one. So they've specifically targeted that one as 2024. It's not quite 2024 yet, so that might be a reason why they're doing so well. You can see it's been independently published, hasn't got any A plus content yet. Probably would benefit from that, but that's doing quite well. It just shows Sudoku might be a good option for you. Well, I hope I've given you a little bit of inspiration and hopefully demonstrated to you that you can do quite well in any niche as long as you create something that's good. Always use the A plus content. Try to go with some keywords that are high search volume and low competitive. I showed you how to research those last week. I've given you some ideas for niches now that you can type straight into ChatGPT with those one prompts and get yourself some good keywords for them. Do some good A plus content. I'm going to leave the link for that video in the description. And if you haven't already subscribed yet, do hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications bell, and then you'll know every time when I've made new content. I'll see you next time. Bye.